guys, welcome to today's video, and if you're new here, my name is Velma Asola. We're going to do a soft shimmer glam. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into it. I already did the eyebrows off camera and now I'm applying eyeshadow base, and I am using a Legal Pro concealer in the shade Flat White. The first transition shade that I'm using is Noble from the Ever Beauty palette, and I'm just packing it on the outer corner of the eye, going inside the crease. I will repeat the same process on the other eye. For this look, you can choose to cut the crease or not to cut the crease. For me, I decided to cut the crease, and I'm using a Legal Pro concealer in the shade Fawn. Stamping it on her lid to achieve that round shape, and I always give myself room for error, so I normally start lower in case I want to raise it up, then I fill it in as I go. Going in with a clean brush, I am blending out the product to get rid of the excess. I am doing the same process to the other eye just to make sure that they are very equal. Then both your cut crease should look something like this. And then moving on to the lid, I am going in with the shade Dreamlight, which is the gold shimmer on the Ever Beauty palette. Fill it in the crease except the inner corner. For the inner corner, I decided to go with the whitey shade, and I'm still using the Ever Beauty palette, so the name of this shade in the palette is called Secret Garden. I'm smoking out the outer corner using the same transition shade that I use. Also in the process, I am getting rid of the harsh line between the shimmer shade and the transition shade. I wanted the outer smoke to be a little bit darker, so I added the black eyeshadow, and I'm just adding it a little bit, not too harsh. Make sure that the outer corner is not too harsh. Now for the liner, I usually prefer when the client's eye is open, so I mark where I start. And also make sure that the brush is flat to achieve a straight line. Then drag and connect it inside while the eye is closed. I build thickness as I go, and also remember, practice makes perfect, so don't beat yourself up. I am placing the lash on the lash line, starting from the middle, then I will adjust the corners. I'll start from the outer corner, then move to the inner corner. Prepping the skin is a very important part of the makeup process, so make sure you don't skip this part. I am now applying moisturizer, and I'm using the Nivea moisturizer, which has SPF. Then using a clean brush, I will spread the product all over her face. So for foundation, I'm using Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 355, which is coconut, and I'm applying it using a brush and not the applicator, which is a beauty blender. Make sure you use a damp beauty blender and not a wet beauty blender with water. And if you're using a brush, spray some setting spray before using. Also, the reason why I don't apply the product on the applicator is because it leaves the finished look to be very patchy and makes your pores look very clogged. Also, I avoid applying foundation under the eye because I will apply concealer for highlighting and I don't want like a cakey look, so I don't want to fill the under eye with a lot of product. For highlighting, I'm using a Legal Pro Concealer in the shade Fawn, and I will apply it in areas where light reflects on the skin, and that is the T-zone area, the bridge of the nose, the forehead, sometimes under the nose, and the chin area. The reason why I'm applying setting spray is to hydrate the concealer for easier blending. Blend the concealer well under the eye to avoid creasing. Also get rid of the harsh lines with the side that you use to apply foundation with. Also, going back and forth with the blender helps everything blend out seamlessly. I decided to switch the beauty blender because this blue one has a very sharp tip unlike the other one. So the other one couldn't get into the inner corner of the eye. So I used this one to blend out the product in the corner of the eye. Using the concealer sponge, I will press in the product on the areas where I applied concealer. So if you have an oily skin tone, I would advise you to get an oil absorbing powder and get a translucent or loose powder for the non-oily skin type. Hack that I learned when setting the under eye: tap the product after scooping on the back of your hand before applying it. It guarantees a non-flashy look. The camera went off when I was contouring the cheek, and I used Zickel powder palette in the shade Noir. Now I'm just blending in the product using a powder brush. Using the same shade that I used to contour the cheeks with, I will go ahead and slightly contour the nose. Using a fan brush, I will go ahead and scoop a little bit of blush and apply it on the apples of the cheek. I will go ahead and apply highlight using the same fan brush. I also like to highlight the tip and the bridge of the nose. To add a little pop to the eye, I am darkening her waterline. Then I am locking the look with a setting spray. When it comes to lips, most of the time I usually prefer the client choosing the lip color that they want, and she chose a red lipstick, so I will just apply the lipstick following the natural shape of her lips. And I wanted to spice up the lips a little bit, so I will add a little white concealer for it to become an ombre. For it to blend out completely, I usually go in with a clean brush. And lastly, I am applying mascara. Thank you so much for watching the video till the end. I really hope you learned something. These are some of the pictures that I took. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and see you on the next one.